Well, hello there. Here's another Q&A for event planning. This question came, I'm going to just go ahead and read it. We are getting ready to put on our first ever event. Yay you! Um, how do we market a first event, and how do we commit sponsors without knowing anyone will show up? This is a great question. And even if your organization has been putting on events for a long time, um, you will run into this because events always have a shelf life, and so it's time to do something different sometimes. And even if you are um, a, a nonprofit just starting out, I mean, you're going to have a first event. So this is a great question. So let me get into it. So first of all, you want to know how you market a first event. Well, one great technique is to market it as a first annual or an inaugural event. That's if you have plans to continue it. And usually you will continue it if it was successful. So go ahead and put it as a first annual or inaugural event, and really play um, to the strengths in that. It's exciting, um, and give away something special. So something that commemorates that this is the first event. Um, if it's a first annual 5K, make sure your t-shirts say first annual, because that way it becomes sentimental. It becomes something that people start collecting. Um, so that's one way to market it. Now, whenever you're dealing with sponsors, because the second part was, how do you commit sponsors without knowing anyone will show up? Well, first of all, most businesses, no matter if it's a long-standing event or a first event, most sponsors realize there's risk involved. Um, and one of those risks is no one shows up or very few people show up. So I wouldn't really worry too much about um, that part, but some things that you can do for your first event to really help with sponsorships. First of all, stress they're getting on the ground floor. Um, Maybe you even say, these sponsorship rates will go up next year, um, or will go up as the event takes off. So, get on the ground floor. And maybe you even say, if you um, sponsor this year, we can lock you in next year for the same amount. Um, that's a little bit of an incentive there. Um, Use some founding sponsorship levels or charter levels. They sound prestigious and less negative. And then, like I said, you can kind of grandfather some of those prices in for um, the lifetime that they sponsor, or maybe it's just the first 2-3 years you're going to guarantee that they can get the sponsorship at that price again. Um, and then let's see what else. The best strategy when it's a first time event is to lay out a sound plan. How are you going to attract people to this event? Who are you going to go after and attract? Um, this is an investment for a business, so you really want to show them, demographics, who you plan. Is this a family event, and you're targeting families that make $75,000 a year with kids in these kind of professions? Really do your research and know who you're going to attract. Have a sound plan of how you're going to attract them. So, are you going to use TV? Are you going to use radio? Are you going to use flyers? Where are you putting those flyers up at? Just lay it out. Be very well thought out. Um, The last thing a business wants to hear in this situation is, we'll do our best to get people there, or, you know, if we do this event, people will come. We don't know that. You don't know that. As a business, you don't know that. So, the best thing you can do is just give them a well thought out plan. You know, this is our first event. We're not real sure how it's going to go over in the community. We have done some research that says, there's not another event like this, and in this area, but there's other areas doing this, and this is what they've said has happened for them. We're trying to replicate what they're doing. Um, like I said, just a very well thought out plan. This is who we're marketing to. This is how we're going to market to them. And you can get in on this event, and we can guarantee prices for the next 2 years if you sign up this year, and you will have first option next year. Um, so those are some things that you can do if you have a first event to get people excited and interested and sponsoring the event. So I hope this helps. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you later.